Okay, this is exercise 7.1, Q1, 2, and 3. I'm going to do some of the odd numbered problems since the even numbered problems are due for homework. Um, these are translations in predicate logic, which is what this is called, or sometimes called quantifier logic. Instead of having letters stand for whole sentences like we've been doing all semester, we're going to break sentences down into parts, specifically subject and predicate. The subject of a sentence is what the sentence is about. So in our first one here, Carol is grumpy. The subject is Carol. And the predicate is what is being said about the subject. So in this case, is grumpy. So you notice we have an uppercase letter that abbreviates is grumpy, and lowercase letter for abbreviation of Carol. Now this might seem a little counterintuitive because in English, often the subject comes first, predicate comes second. But when we symbolize these sentences in predicate logic, the predicate always goes first and is uppercase, subject goes second and is lowercase. So number one, Carol is grumpy, uppercase G, lowercase c. And that one was done for us. Okay, so number three, we've got Alice will go to the movie only if she gets done work early. Now, if you remember, excuse me, your translations, only if gets translated directly as the horseshoe. So Alice will go to the movie only if she gets done work early. So only if is different from if and only if, which is the biconditional. Only if, just substitute in the horseshoe for the only if, leave everything else in the sentence the same. Okay, so first we need to translate the first part of this. Alice will go to the movie. All right, so we're told up here that MX stands for X will go to the movie. So that's our predicate. Predicate goes first, uppercase. Our subject here is Alice. Alice is abbreviated with lowercase a. Conditional. Next sentence, she gets done work early. So she again refers to Alice. So gets done work early is uppercase D and lowercase a again for Alice. So Alice will go to the movie only if Alice gets done work early. Okay, number 5. Syracuse is not the capital of the U.S., but Washington, D.C. is. Now you'll notice here all of our operators are going to work exactly the same. So a lot of the stuff we talked about with translations earlier in the semester still applies, right? So this is a but, which usually indicates a conjunction, because both these things are being asserted as true. Syracuse is not the capital of the U.S., Washington, D.C. is. And again, the not there is going to need a negation, okay? So it's going to be a conjunction where the but is. So the first part of the sentence, Syracuse is not the capital of the U.S. So our predicate for is the capital of the U.S. is uppercase C, and we're talking about Syracuse. But again, we're saying it's not the capital, so we need the negation in front. So Syracuse is not the capital of the United States, but Washington, D.C. is, meaning is the capital of the United States. So again, we need uppercase C, lowercase w. All right, we're saying Washington, D.C. is, so no negation here. Syracuse is not, so negation there. Okay, number 7, both Samir and Tanya live in Boston. So again, two things are being asserted as true here, that Samir lives in Boston and Tanya lives in Boston. So it's going to be a conjunction. Start with the first part, Samir lives in Boston. Our key here tells us that lives in Boston is abbreviated with uppercase B. And our first person here is Samir, so lowercase s. Okay, our next sentence, or our next thing that's being asserted is that Tanya lives in Boston, same predicate, uppercase B, Tanya is lowercase t. Okay, so I'm leaving lots of space in between just to show you. Okay, if either James or Kenneth go to the party, then Meredith will go too, unless Nathan goes. So basically we have an if-then that's conditional. So let's focus first on the antecedent of the conditional. That's everything that comes after the if and before the then. And the antecedent says either James or Kenneth go to the party. So either or, remember, is a disjunction. So we're going to have something that looks like this. And then if we look at our consequent, Meredith will go unless Nathan goes. Again, remember, unless is also best, or at least easiest translation as a disjunction. Okay, so now we can fill in our sentences. Either James goes to the party, so P is the predicate for goes to the party, and J is for James. So either James goes to the party or Kenneth goes to the party. Again, P for goes to the party, K for Kenneth. So that's our antecedent. Consequent, Meredith will go unless Nathan goes. So again, we're still talking about going to the party. So uppercase P, lowercase m for Meredith. Unless, again, is the disjunction, Nathan goes. So Nathan goes to the party again. Okay, so again, we started by noticing the main structure here is an if-then sentence. Then we focused on our antecedent first, the disjunction, either or. Then we looked at our consequent, which is also disjunction with unless. And that's a good way to approach these, is especially the longer ones, is first figure out what the main operator is here. It's if-then. And then focus on the parts, on the smaller parts. Makes things much easier. Okay, so now Q2. Again, this is translations. We're given some symbolization keys here, and now we have to translate these sentences. So Trump is president. Trump is the subject here, is president is the predicate. Again, for these translations, predicate goes first. So we look up here, capital P is our predicate for is president. Trump is our subject, and Trump is a lowercase t symbol. So uppercase P, lowercase t, Trump is president. Second sentence here, either Bush or Obama is president, but Trump is on vacation, right? We've got again, either or. And then this but symbolizes a conjunction, right? So our first conjunct is an either or. Our second conjunct is Trump is on vacation. So let's do the first one first. Either Bush or Obama is president. So again, uppercase P for is president. Lowercase b for Bush. Uppercase P for president. Lowercase o for Obama. So that says either Bush is president or Obama is president. But Trump is on vacation. Look up here, V, uppercase is our symbol for is on vacation. And again, Trump is our subject, so VT. Okay, number 5. Neither Bush nor Trump is charismatic. Now, if you remember translating neither nor, not either or. So negation of a disjunction. Right? Charismatic, we're given is a capital C, uppercase C, so CB. Bush is charismatic. Uppercase C, lowercase t. So this is not the case that either Bush is charismatic or Trump is charismatic. So again, neither nor, not either or. Right? Now we do know from De Morgan's that this sentence is equivalent to not CB and not CT. Right. But again, I think neither nor is easier to translate with not, thinking about it as not either or, not the negation of a disjunction. Okay, 7. It's not the case Obama is president and charismatic, right? So it's not the case that both are true. So not both is the negation of a conjunction. And our conjuncts here, Obama is president. So remember that's uppercase P, lowercase o for Obama. And charismatic, uppercase C, lowercase o. So it's not the case that Obama is president and charismatic. Alright, so remember, not both, negation of a conjunction. Alright, last one for Q2. Obama's on vacation only if Trump is president. So remember, for the only if, we just put the horseshoe, right? Substitute for the only if. So our antecedent here then is Obama is on vacation. V was on vacation, remember? Our consequent, Trump is president, uppercase P, lowercase t. So again, don't confuse only if with if and only if. Those are two different things. It's a mistake I'm still seeing on some of the homeworks. Only if, just remember, take out only if, put in the horseshoe. Okay, Q3, now we have to do both of these. Do both things. We have to make up a symbolization key and then translate. So GX will be X will go to the game, and lowercase b, capitalize it for me, will be Barney, and lowercase a will be Alex. Okay, so I'll go over here so I don't go down to the next page. So the first part, so this sentence again is Alex will go to the game, but Barney will not. So it's a conjunction, right? The but indicates that there's two things being asserted as true. So the first thing before the but, Alex will go to the game. G, members, will go to the game, and lowercase a for Alex. Barney will not, so we need negation. Right. So Alex will go to the game, and it's not the case that Barney will go to the game. Okay, number 3, we'll call EX. X will climb Mount Everest. AX will be X can afford the trip to Nepal. Lowercase c will be Chris. I don't know why these weird spacings are happening here. Okay, and this is the last one I'm going to do because I'm almost out of time. So, again, it's an only if, so we know that's just substitute in the conditional. Before the only if is Chris will climb Mount Everest. So E is will climb Mount Everest, C is Chris. So Chris will climb Mount Everest only if he can afford the trip to Nepal. Again, that's Chris. A is can afford the trip to Nepal, and C. So Chris will climb Everest only if Chris can afford the trip to Nepal. Okay, I hope that gives you a sense of how to do some of these translations. I'll post some more videos with the quantifiers next.